this season is really different, and I don't know if my like desire to be like cozy and comfortable is like showing,
Yeah.
but definitely been knee deep in books lately.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been interesting because I think both of us, whether we decided to collectively or not, we both decided we wanted to read more this year.
Yeah.
And I didn't really set a goal, but did you?
I set a goal. So I wanted to start reading more last year. However, I started with like an easy baby step phase 1 by reading on my Kindle. And I signed up for Kindle Unlimited. It's like $9.99 a month, but you get like hella books included in that membership. And I was like, I just need to start flexing the muscle again and reading short, quick romance novels that are really easy, really fun to get through. You can finish one in a day or two. And that really got like I'm an avid reader. I love reading. I've read all my life. It is definitely my escape. And so it was really easy for me to dip back in. But this year I just missed books and like holding them and laying in bed with them. And we have a mini library upstairs and it's about to get bigger. And so I was like, well, I need more books to fill it. And so I might as well start buying them. And so we got recommended I feel like kind of towards the beginning of this year, a slew of businessy books.
Yeah.
That I bought some, you bought some, we bought some that were similar or the same. And we kind of started diving back into those. And I was taking notes and really loving and like taking action on it. And then I know I've talked about it here, but I also joined a book of the month club and that's been helpful. But it's been pretty great.
Yeah.
But yes, I did set a goal of 50 books this year. And I think I'm 9 or 10 in, and it's March at the time of this recording.
Yeah. I'm 6 books in, which for me is like a massive increase. I was an avid reader when I was a kid, like loved it, always excelled in accelerated reading and always
I
scored
taught
really
kids how to read when I was young. And it was
I scored really high on all those tests, but the
Mhm.
problem with those programs, not to like bark at teachers for a second,
Mm.
but because I scored so high, the teachers would often force me literally to read a book more at my reading level, but they didn't align with my interests at the
Mhm.
time because
Mhm.
like ultimately I'm still a child and
Right.
I'm 11 reading 1984. Like
Yes.
I would
Same
probably
to
love
boring
that.
old big books.
I'd probably love that now, but like
Mhm.
then it was like a fast way to burn me out because
Yep.
I couldn't get through it quickly. I was a slow reader, and I was a slow reader because I was reading every word. And so part of me getting back into the season, not only from like learning from other people, like Emily mentioned, but also absorbing knowledge in a new way, like with books. It's not that it's a new way, but like
We
re-engaging.
invented reading books.
Stop it. Not re-engaging with learning in that way when I had very literally there was years where I was reading absolutely zero. Like
Oh,
literally,
I've definitely had a year of that. Yeah.
yeah, like nothing.
Nothing.
And so I mean this was a pretty big change for me, but
I
part
read
of that
subtitles
change,
on TV shows. Does that count? Because
no,
I've had to turn subtitles on for the last couple of years.
well, there's some probably processing things happening there,
My
and
brain can't comprehend. You know that TikTok audio that's like, then they're talking about how like when my friend doesn't want to put subtitles on the movie and what they hear is jibber jabber scoop. They're like, what are they saying? Like this is me the whole time. Brian doesn't need subtitles, but I do. And I'm like, I literally don't know what they're saying. My brain can't process it.
I used to not want subtitles because then I would try to read the show instead
Yeah.
of like watch the show,
It's you
and
have
it
to train your
when you are already a slow reader, it can actually feel like more of a slap in the face.
yeah,
So
yeah.
anyway, besides the point, closed captioning is great for
Use
those of
it,
you who
love
need
it.
it. Anyway, not my point. So one of the things I knew I needed as a tool in my tool belt was I needed to figure out a way to pick up my pace
Yeah.
in like a really healthy way. And so part of it was I had been kind of on the hunt for tips on speed reading, And it's not that I wanted to read fast necessarily. I was just like, I literally can't, if I keep doing it this way, I'm never going to enjoy reading.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and so that was a really big frustration of mine. And I literally, one tip changed my entire life.
I
So
didn't even realize this was a tip. I just thought everyone knew to do this. Because you told it
no,
to me and I was like, yeah.
no, I literally, I have.
So I hope it can change everyone's lives who is listening.
Okay, so generally what you do, and I was like, okay, so I used to think, because I'm the person who read every word, I thought you were just supposed to scan your eyes as fast as possible across every single line.
Like they do in the gifts of people speed reading.
And as someone who's literally recovered from a brain injury, the idea
You
of
can't
moving
do
my
that.
eyes in that way is like not only exhausting,
That
but
makes me car sick even thinking about.
no, no, thank you. Not what I want. Not what I want. And so the thought is that you start in the upper left-hand corner of a paragraph and you read diagonally across the
Mm-hmm.
page instead of in a straight line,
Mm-hmm.
and you tend to absorb all the major information of the paragraph. And I was like, surely this doesn't work. Um,
See, I taught myself this because I was so anxious to get to what was happening next that I just skipped ahead. Not
yeah.
like skipped ahead pages and stuff, but I did this because I was like ready to get to the next thing.
No, but your comprehension doesn't go down.
Right. Who knew?
Who knew? And so, and now the thing is, it doesn't mean you won't sometimes go back and
Right.
reread a section or read
Right.
a couple sentences word for word. You absolutely do. But literally, that one tip, I picked my pace like catapulted.
Mm-hmm.
And not only is reading more comfortable for me, but my speed has increased significantly to the point that now by no means are they big books, but I can read a book in a day
Yeah.
or an afternoon, whereas before, like, it was like weeks of agony of like only getting through 20 pages at night and like
Yeah.
feeling really frustrated. And
I need someone to send in their tips for ADHD readers. And maybe it's just audiobooks is the answer because Brian, we gave him one of the books that we ordered to read and he wants to do it and he will do it, but it could literally take him an entire year to finish one very small book because he can't focus, he can't get into it, he can't stay. So he ordered it on Audible and I need to see where his progress is, but I think he's only read like one book in his life.
I don't have tips for that.
No.
I'm not a
Message us.
I wish I had a solution, but
And
for
he's
me,
definitely a slow, like, he's one of those slow readers and like tries to use his fingers. So that's part of it because I think he thinks that will help him focus. But I think it's slowing him down. But I don't know tips on helping you focus. Like, I don't have that problem with reading with other things I do.
yeah, I mean, for me, I think part of it is immersing myself in it, and like I have to read in quiet, and if my phone is dinging every 5 seconds or
Oh,
literally
yeah.
right now my Slack is going off, then not gonna I'm not gonna be able to get through it in the same way that I would like to. But
Yeah.
what I want to just say about this is it's been interesting because not only am I absorbing new information, but I am purposefully absorbing books and in listening to other things. Like, I feel like just because I've dived into books, I'm also like finding new people to follow and starting
Yeah.
new connections. Like, it's rubbed off in so many different areas, not just in this one place.